to tonight's episode of Sins of Blood, presented by Will of the Dice. I am Tier the DM, world's okayest DM, and I will be guiding this cacophony of clusterfuckery this evening. Before we begin, we do have a few quick announcements. First, we are for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Secondly, we do not encourage the use of nicotine products such as vaping. We want you to live happy and healthy lives, and while some of us may partake in the habit, we don't wish that on anyone else. And thirdly, we are in no way, shape, form associated or affiliated with any TT RPG creators, publishers, or manufacturers. We're just a group of friends come together to play our game and share that game with you. Locke?
Hi, gamers. I'm sorry, I was waiting for a siren to finish passing. I'm here to talk to you tonight about the musicians who will be providing music for tonight's show. It makes our experience better. It makes your experience better. It makes everybody happier. It's much cooler when we have music. And those musicians are Michael Gelfie, Kevin MacLeod, Jeff Farber, Dwergar, Epidemic Sound, and our very own Peculiar Patrick. Thanks, Patrick.
Yay.
Hey. Greetings, gamers. You know what time of night it is. It's the time when you slowly, essentially click on the browser of your choice. And you stroke those keys going www.patreon.com and you search Will of the Dice. You look us up. You subscribe to us. You help fund us. When you subscribe to us, you get access to After the Rolls, where we discuss what Clusterfuckery Tier just did to us. You get access to interviews with the cast members outside of the game. Who are they? What do they do? Why do they do? You don't know until you find out. But seriously, folks, get on to Patreon. Help support us. It helps support this channel. It helps bring new content, and we very much appreciate it very much. Tier?
So we've partnered up with Red Panda Dice and Delights. The lovely people over there have these beautiful 55 millimeter table shake with D20s. And for the next 20 subscribers to Patreon, you get one. They are beautiful and they are huge. They are chunky. Those of you watching on the video, there's Locke comparing a normal D20 to the massive chunks. So, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and do introductions.
Greetings, gamers. I am Raph the Mad, he, him, and I'll be doing the voice of Sarek the Blade, the 6'9" dragonborn who is now in the court of the Fae, and he's not sure about much anymore. He is a he, him, and I can be found at BLK Dragon 13,000 at Dice.camp on Mastodon.
Hey, everybody. I'm Ren Matley, she, her, and tonight I'm going to be voicing Nan and Esmina, she, they. Nan is a 5-foot-tall elf in appearance, plain brown hair, plain brown eyes, tends to wear clothes that aren't well fitted. Esmina is her counterpart. In essence, Nan is a cartographer and Esmina is the druid. And it gets a little confusing sometimes. You can find me over on Twitter at Ren_Matley.
Hi, gamers. I'm still Locke Clark, and tonight I'll be playing Lazarian, also known as Laz, the 5'5" warlock who has really pale skin and a bunch of scars that seem to be some sort of writing, and woke up at Keep Gregarian without any memories of who they are before they got there, who's, now attached to a ship, which is kind of cool. I'm he, him, Laz is they, them, and you can find me on the social medias at Locke Unruly. That's Locke with an H.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Patrick, the voice of Dreft Vitakin, a part of the Angramora Exchange Program. Dreft is a 5'6" Umberkin trained in the art of assassination. He has recently become connected emotionally, physically, spiritually to Nan and Esmina, and is just trying to make it through to another day without someone trying to kill him. And you can find me on Twitter at Peculiar Patrick.
Hi, yes, this is Ames. I am the voice of Brika. We are both she, her. Brika's a 5 foot tall. Used to present as an elf, but she's a fairy, specifically a Luna Fae. She has indigo hair, 2 green streaks, one at each temple, and matching green eyes with lavender skin, and her wings resemble more of like a Luna moth wings and they glow slightly like bioluminescence. Um, she doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Just that they got attacked again. They got a feast to go to. Things aren't right. Same shit, different day. We'll see what happens. And you can find me over on Twitter at LollyGFIFO.
And as I said at the beginning, I'm Tier the DM, he, him, and you can find me on Twitter at Tier_the_DM. As always, our safe word for tonight is porcelain. Do we have any last requests before we begin?
Not the face.
When we last left our party, they had indeed traveled to the Silver Spires. They had met the Queen of the Fae, one Llewellyn Rose. They had done battle against one of Gangriella's children and won, claiming the head in a very lucky dice roll. They spent time with Llewellyn Rose, who has offered up the sages of the Silver Spires to help try to unravel this prophecy. They were infiltrated by Umbrakai. Combat ensued. The lead Umbrakai being slain, the shades vanished. Not before realization that there was basically a missing shade. Syrinx had come to a dose of poisoning, but managed to stay alive. You all have a feast to prepare for in the honor of Brika, the princess returning home. What would you like to do?
Here, were we told if this was a dressy event or just a come as you are kind of thing?
You was not. So let's roll a die. Let's let the dice determine what type of event this is. High, it's fancy. Low, it's come as you are. That is a 19. So this is fancy. This is a fancy soiree.
Brika's just gonna have cleaned up, but like it's not like they have any fancy clothes on them.
Mhm.
So, she's gonna be she'll have, cleaned up, changed her shirt or whatever, but she's just wearing the same thing she's been wearing, which is a very simple style, like off-white, square-necked tank, like sleeveless shirt and a pair of like blue pants and her boots.
Syrinx just gonna, clean his armor, get it all shined up, buffed up, make things look nice and presentable so he can stand in as a bodyguard to hopefully blend in with the rest.
Jeff will get all together and try to make himself look presentable and put his armor on, and he won't wear his coat to dinner, so he'll just wear his regular clothes.
Okay.
Laz is gonna use prestidigitation and clean everything, and draw on the vague memories of military service that creep around the edges, and present themselves very put together and polished with military efficiency.
Nan doesn't have anything even remotely dressy, but she will wash the ink off her face.
We're going to go around the table. We're going to start with Sarek. What's Sarek feeling right now? What is Brika going to be picking up from Sarek in this moment of preparation?
Should be picking up a top level of calm, covering over worry and concern. There's concern for what's coming down, what's going to happen, but he's got his emotions reined in and in check at this point.
Okay. Nan?
When we first go back to the rooms, Jeff will be getting quite a bit of like frustration as Nan and as Mina are kind of arguing. And then waves back and forth of extreme nervousness and curiosity.
Okay. And Dreft?
Dreft is a little nervous for all of what's going down. He doesn't have any fancy clothes. He just has his normal wear, and he is worried that it's not going to be enough and that he's going to possibly offend somebody. And then, yeah. So he's just nervous.
And Brika.
There's a tiny bit of nerve, but mostly it's like hard resolve with a very low undercurrent of like icy rage. You know, when it's not like rage that like is keyed up right at this moment. It's that rage you've been sitting on for a long, long time. So it's
Right.
gets kind of cold in the pit of your stomach. There's that with just that a hard resolve that kind of goes over anything else with that little flicker of nervous, but that's Brika.
The time for the feast will come. Making your way out into the hallway, a guide will be there to greet you and lead you to the feasting hall. A large rectangular feasting hall with tables set on either side of a beautiful defined walkway to a raised platform where sits Llewellyn Rose on a throne, and beside Llewellyn Rose on the equally impressive throne, a red dragonborn.
Before they
Who
approach,
will raise his hand and be like, Sarek, is that you?
I nudge Dreft $20.
Does Sarek recognize him at all?
You do. This is who you knew as just Amadon. He was a traveling sword like yourself that trained from your place of origin. Used to frequent the tea shop often with tales of their latest adventures, and one of the things that inspired Sarek to become a sellsword.
He won't just look kind of shocked for a second of kind of disbelief that out in the middle of nowhere he found somebody he knew.
Brika
And
just
then
kind
he
of
will
good.
he will step up slightly from behind Brika, where he's been standing in the bodyguard position, and nod. Yes, it seems life has treated you well, Your Majesty. What are you doing out here?
Oh, made my way out this way on a spelljammer, fell in love, got married, became a king.
Seems time has treated you well.
You know, I'm always looking for good swords in my army.
Alas, Your Majesty, I am tied to another at this point. We have a different task in front of us. But it's good to see you well.
Llewellyn Rose will look very perplexed at their husband running into someone that they used to know, that is being a bodyguard to their long-lost daughter. She will cast an uneasy eye to her husband before you all are led to one of the head tables and set to feast.
Brika
Go ahead.
is going to take a second just to kind of very softly speak into the Wispinator. Remember, don't eat anything or drink anything offered. You can take what's on the table, but if anybody tells you to eat freely or tries to offer it to you, don't take it.
Well, isn't it being on the table even mean it's been offered to us by them?
The magic is initiated by the offer itself. So as long as this is not indicated as eat freely, like Mother did yesterday, then we're safe. If it's just there...
I don't think I'm taking any chances.
The feast hall will begin to fill with lords and ladies. You will see all sorts of fae, some dark and brooding, some beautiful and illuminescent. It is a clandestine image of just a phantasmagoria of color and sights. These different fae traveling to feast here in honor of the return of the princess.
Of all the fae coming in the room, do any of the ones coming in have the same coloring or look to them like Llewellyn Rose or Brika?
They do not.
That's what she's kind of looking around at.
Nan
I
is very
assume-
nervous but just sitting with her hands in her lap.
I assume the bodyguards are lining the wall behind their respective personnel.
Correct.
Sarek will take up his position behind Brika against the wall and just start watching the crowd.
Okay.
I'll sit next to Brika and will, as is my custom, use my silent image to appear that I take food from the table and eat it heartily, even though in reality I am just sitting very still in my chair watching the room.
What is Dreff doing?
Sitting patiently in the chair. He's not eating any of the food.
Brika has taken some... Go ahead, sorry.
He's feeling the nervousness from Nan, is just trying his hardest to contain himself.
Frika has taken food from different things and put it on the plate in front of her, and like she's doing that thing people do where they just kind of like push things around on the plate to look like she's ate some of it, but she's basically watching everything around them more than anything else.
The minstrels will begin to play. The hall will begin to fill with the sound of voices. The lavishness of the lifestyle that is accustomed to these nobles very much on display. They are getting deep into their cups. Their laughter is growing louder and rowdier. And here you all sit an island among these free-spirited individuals. Perhaps it is fortunate that you have not imbibed in alcohol or partaken of food, as what happens next, well, changes the timbre of the whole ordeal. The double doors at the end of the feast hall flying open. And there, gliding several inches above the ground, a drow.
I, while still silent imaged and appearing to be eating, I call my sword to my hand below the table.
Frika goes absolutely still. Like, if you're looking at her, she doesn't even look like she's breathing.
Sarek's going to look everywhere but the drow at this point. He notices the drow. He identifies drow, bad, but he's going to look for other things too. What else is, he's made an entrance. Maybe he's covering something.
The music stops. The laughter and frivolity of the tables stills. This drow, holding a single object in her hand, shaking it back and forth. I come from House Talinor. We demand our property be returned. Llewellyn Rose will clear their throat and using magic to amplify their voice so that it fills the hall. We have taken nothing from the drow. You are not welcomed here. The drow will smile a very fiendish smile, its eyes cutting to you, Brika. You may not have taken it, but you harbor it, and that's just guilty enough. I come to bring a message. Release that which is ours unto us, or feel the wrath of House Talinor.
Brika is actually going, at that point, she was sitting very completely still. Sarek would have felt like there's no definite feeling, but it's like a swirling mass of like all the things all at once. And then just all of a sudden, she basically stands up, and as loud as she can, no one can release me because no one owns me. Take your warning elsewhere. I don't belong to you, and I don't belong to her either. And she's going to point right at Llewellyn Rose.
Everyone give me a perception check. Rika,
That is a 23.
Drift,
Second here. 19.
Laz.
I rolled a natural 20 for a 25.
Nice. Nan
Natural 20 for a 24.
and Sarek.
Sarek's too busy glaring daggers at this drow to notice. He rolled a 5.
Everyone but Sarek will notice that if words could harm, Llewellyn Rose would have perished on the spot. Silently, silver tears fall. But now is not the time for such things, as the mage, seeing you stand up, Rika, it's time to come home, child, and will snap their fingers. They will look confused and snap their fingers again.
I told you, no one owns me. And in that moment, there's just, it looks like it's coming from her wings, but up and down her arms, there's the almost like static electric spark that's blue and green that's going up and down her arms. And since Sarek can feel anything that happens to her, it just feels like, if you get really zapped really hard from static electricity. And her eyes are glowing.
Then Llewellyn Rose will stand up and open her mouth to say something. The mage will point at her. A sickening green bolt will come from their finger.
Counterspell.
Roll a d20.
4th level. That's a natural 20.
A sickening green beam will start to come from the mage's finger and then will vanish harmlessly into nothing as his spell is counterspelled.
Hey, Tyr, as that mage is casting that spell and everyone's paying attention to that, I'd like to cast a spell if I could.
Okay, what spell?
I cast Mislead.
Okay.
It's a new spell. It's my new spell, and I'm so pleased with it. You become invisible at the same time that an illusionary double of you appears where you are standing. I let go of my silent image, by the way, as I do this. The double lasts for the duration, but the invisibility ends if you attack or cast a spell. You can use your action to move your illusionary double up to twice your speed, and make it gesture, speak, and behave in whatever way you choose. You can see through its eyes and hear through its ears, as if you were located where it is. On each of your turns, as a bonus action, you can switch from using its senses to using yours, or back again. While you are using its senses, you are blinded, deafened in regard to your own surroundings.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that and slip out of my chair and leave the double sitting in the chair.
Okay.
After the spell poofs, Dreft is going to just very like lightning leap over the table, drawing his dagger and approach the drow mage.
Okay.
With malicious intent.
Draft runs into a wall because Sarek's in front of him. The minute that he points, he's pulling Airbane's patient and charging.
All right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. And head on over to the Owlbear Rodeo.
Okay, Dreft is not running into a wall because Sarek is slow.
It's hard to beat me when I have a natural 20.
All right, Laz, what'd you get?
15.
Draft.
24.
Nan.
14.
Derek.
5.
Brika.
7.
Right quick, I just want to give a big shout out to Rodeo. It is a awesome program for running our battle maps that is free. We do have permission from them to use it, but it's free and it works beautifully. So we're big fans. If you play online or whatever, you can even like do it locally. Whoa, that's loud. Sorry.
New music bot. Do this. That's better.
Yeah, sorry about that, y'all. New music bot, and every time it joins, I have to readjust the volume. So, but yeah, Albert Rodeo, go check it out. If you play D&D, it's great for your battle maps and everything. You can create custom tokens to represent your players and such. It kicks ass. All right, so coming up first is Draft Vidikin.
He's going to, like I said, leap up from the table using his movement and drawing his dagger, and is going to attack the mystery drow.
All right, go ahead and make that attack roll.
Would you believe I rolled a natural 20?
I would.
So, that is 4 plus whatever the damage modifier is, right?
Yep.
So, oh wow, I rolled max. So it'll be 12 points of piercing damage, and I think that's going to be the rest of, because I can't use sneak attack because I don't have advantage on it.
Yeah, and he already went. He tried to cast Ray of Sickness, so.
Yep, and he's not within 5 of somebody else, so at least I don't believe he is.
Actually, yes, you do get to apply your sneak attack because you have Assassinate. And you're going before them in the initiative. We didn't declare initiative until after the Ray of Sickness.
That is fair. Right, so 11 sneak attack damage.
No. It's max die plus 11. So what's your sneak attack?
Hang on, I just closed my character sheet for some reason. My sneak attack is 5d6, so 30.
41 points of damage.
Oof.
Plus the 12.
Yes.
Woof. Yeah, that's
Rogues are badass.
That's my turn.
All right. That'll bring up Lazarian.
Cool. It's the right size. So I'm gonna sub in this little witch's hat token real quick that's my double sitting there. I had gotten out of the chair, so I'd be about there. I'm going to take my movement to get behind the drow. And bonus action, Hexblade's Curse. And burn it. I'm gonna use my action to have to take over my double, and my double gets up and steps over here, brandishing a scimitar, and says, Hey! Now, we can talk this through civilly.
Okay.
And that's
Make a
my
persuasion check.
14 plus 5, 19.
19. Not bad. Civility does have a place amongst all ranks and file. However, in this instance, we must put away such customs and settle for barbaric means of diplomatic persuasions. That'll bring up Dan.
As soon as this drow had attempted to cast against Llewellyn Rose, the feeling Drift was getting went from nervousness to a weird calm as Esmina took over. She's going to basically jump up from the chair, flipping it, letting it flip back as she gets up. And she's going to wild shape.
Okay.
Going to become a dire wolf.
Okay.
I have no idea what that's going to feel like for Drift.
He has an indescribable feeling that comes over him and is like, what the fuck?
Hopefully it's not painful. I make no guarantees, as you know, her body is literally changing form as she's doing this. And I don't have another action to use, but I can use my movement. The wolf is going to jump across the table, standing between Brika and where the drow is positioned.
Alrighty.
And just give a loud ass growl.
All right, Brika.
All right. She's going to use her movement to go to move to the other side of the table they were sitting at. She's basically going to just use her wings, do a little like fly up to move here to the other side. So she has a little bit, so she's still behind where Esmina moved to, but she's just on the other side of the table. But now she has a clear shot looking at the drow. And she is just letting out a steady litany of curses, basically telling him that his mother was a goat, that grave dirt is worth more than he is. Like any type of insult she ever heard while the drow had her, she is throwing at him, and then she is going to cast a 3rd level, which is Bolt.
Okay.
Alright, does a 24 hit?
24 hits.
Okay, give me just a second because I have to roll 3 d12s and I only have 2. That is 22 points of damage, lightning damage. And it would have looked like just a giant arc of bright blue lightning arcing from her hand to the drow.
All right, is that your turn?
Yes.
All right, the drow mage will sneer. They look very wounded. They will take the object that's in their hand and smash it on the ground. A large flash of light will appear. The wind gusts through the hall of the feast hall, howling as snow starts falling. And there amongst you is a frost giant.
Wow, he really wasn't kidding.
Not that we didn't trust
Did you not learn this? He always tells us what he's really going to do and makes it seem like it's a joke.
The mage's turn. The frost giant will go. Let's see. It will be going after Dreft. First attack. 21.
21 will hit. Did I use my uncanny dodge to half the damage doing to me?
Yes. So that'll be 10 points of damage half with the half. It was 20 points of damage at half. It's going with its next attack. Another 21. "23 points of slashing damage."
Oof.
Yeah, it's its turn, and now it's Sarek the Blade. Yes, Nan?
How much damage does Nan take?
Roll 1d4 twice.
I got a 1 and a 3, so 4.
4 points of damage.
All right, seeing what's going on, Sarek's gonna move from the wall position where he was at, overwatching the table, and using the measuring tool. He should be able to make it to the mystery drow.
Yeah.
And since the giant's on the other side of the drow, he's gonna have to go through the drow to get to the giant. Oh darn. Fighting spirit and 2 attacks with Airbane's patience. And where is it? Where's my feet? Fighting styles. There it is. And I'm going to apply the -5 penalty to the attack to add +10 to the damage rolls
Okay.
with Great Weapon Mastery. So, first attack. Does a 15 hit?
Yes.
23 points of slashing damage.
You cleave the drow in twain.
Poof!
Stepping forward, your great sword, Airbane's patience shimmering in the torchlight. The drow is no more.
All right. That will be his turn at this point then.
I need everyone to give me a perception check.
That's much better.
Does it
Marika?
involve hearing or smell?
No.
I got a natural 20, so that's a 28.
28. Draft.
24.
24. Les.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Nan.
That's a 19.
19. And Sarek.
15.
The giant looked subdued when it first appeared. There was a glossiness to its eyes, a glaze, as if it was under something's spell. Now, it just looks pissed off.
Sorry about the dancing while he was describing that, but I just remembered a power that I have that I haven't gotten to use. The opportunity has not come up, and it just happened. I think I gotta double check an ability. Hold on. Oh, this could be fun.
All right, go ahead, sir. Continue with your
That will be
attack.
it. Am I going to be able to hit the giant from there?
No.
All right, then that'll be his turn at this point.
All right. That'll bring us back to Dreft.
All right. Draft is going to use steady aim as a bonus action, so he doesn't move. He is within attacking range of the frost giant, and is going to take a swipe with his dagger.
All right.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 hits.
All right, and since it was with advantage, he'll get his sneak attack as well. So 7 piercing damage and 13 sneak attack damage.
Nice. The dagger cutting through the frost giant's flesh easily. The creature will roar in outrage. Is that your turn?
And that'll be Dreff's turn.
All right, Laz.
All right. Still invisible. Laz is going to take movement around to the other side of the frost giant. And then is going to let me check something. I can't. The spell the ability I was hoping to get to use is not going to work. That will though. Yeah, we'll do that. So I'm going to let Misled drop. And... Oh, wait, that's an action, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Damn it. No, I'm not going to waste it. So yeah, I'm going to let Misled drop as I attack. And I'm just going to swing at it with my Mind Blade. And I should get advantage because I'm opposite Dreft. So that's going to be a 22 to hit. Or... So that'll be 12 points of slashing damage plus 9 points of psychic damage.
You're muted, Tyr.
All right. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Excellent. So,
Oh, no, I'm
really
sorry.
quick-
I'm sorry. I misspoke. I get 2 attacks now. I forgot. It's a new thing. And that is 24 to hit
That'll hit.
for 10 points of slashing and 5 points of psychic.
All right.
And that will end my turn.
Your blade masterfully cutting deep into the frost giant's flesh. More of a raged bellowing. That will bring up Nan with Brika on deck.
Esmina, being much, much bolder than Nan is basically going to leap onto the table in front of the frost giant and then leap at it, attempting to bite.
Okay.
All right. So... 23.
23 will hit.
2d6, sorry. So he takes 2d6 plus 3 piercing damage. So that is going to be 12 points of piercing damage. And if it's a creature, it has to succeed on a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay. You said strength saving throw, correct?
Correct.
He
Oh,
has
I
a
have
plus. He has a +6 to his strength.
Okay.
And what was the DC?
13. It's not very high.
I rolled a 4.
+6, so it's 10.
That's 10.
So he's knocked prone.
He's knocked prone.
And I need to remember I have pack tactics. I should have rolled that with advantage. Because I have allies within 5 feet. That's it. So he's prone. There's a giant dire wolf chewing on his arm and growling at him.
All right. Brika, you're up.
Okay. She's gonna shuffle back to the side of the table she started on, so she can get, clear shot. And we're gonna do a firebolt.
Okay.
So 27 hit. Yeah,
27 does hit.
I kind of figured. So that is 17 points of fire damage.
The creature bellows just in pain this time. Is that your turn?
Yep.
1 second. Okay, that's very interesting. Sorry, there's something caught my attention that outside of the game. The frost giant will spend half its movement to stand. I will now roll a die to see where its attention goes. And it goes towards Nan. That's a natural 20.
Ooh, boo.
This may be good night for Nan.
Let's find out.
That is 52 points of damage.
All right, that's going to knock me out of wild shape. And 19 points of that will carry over into my hit points.
The giant will come with a backswing towards your now humanoid form, Nan. That was a 26 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
$23 points of slashing damage.
23?
Yes.
Oh, that hurts a lot.
So, Draft, you'll take 2d4 points of damage as you feel this horrendousness from
Oof, 5 damage.
that will bring up Sarek.
Sarek's going to take a 5-foot step in and again lay into the Frost giant with air-based patience using fighting spirit for advantage. Go big or home. We're going to go with our great weapon mastery as well.
Okay, so -5 on the attack roll to do a +10 damage.
Mm-hmm. Good thing I got a +13 and an advantage. And 30 minus. Does a 25 hit?
25 hits.
20 points of slashing damage. And come back around to the second attack. Oh,
the giant wanes. He's wavering. He's in danger.
And yeah, he comes back with the backswing with the second attack. Does a 20 hit? Dirty 20.
20 hits.
That's better. 24 slashing damage.
He's still standing, but not by much. Your blade cutting deep gashes into his abdomen and chest. You see some of the intestine spilling out of the wound.
Ooh. That will be his turn at this point.
Dreft.
Seeing this moment, he takes his opportunity to stab at the frost giant with advantage because of everyone there. 17.
17 hits. Before you roll damage, I'm going to tell you right now, he has 21 points left.
Okay,
This could be the killing blow.
Could be. Because I gotta do 8 points of piercing damage, and then I have sneak attack because of the advantage on the attack. That is 23 sneak attack damage.
Yeah.
You want to do it?
I think he just stabs him like in the thigh. Because the guy's big, so he stabs him in the thigh and then twists, pulls the knife out, and takes 3 steps backwards and puts his dagger away.
That in the femoral there?
Yeah. Or just any leg vein. I don't know the anatomy of frost giants.
Cutting open wide, that major thoroughfare of blood severed. Within moments, he is dispatched and dead.
Is the body of the drow still there? Like they didn't fade or disappear?
The body's still there.
Brika's going to kind of half fly, half walk up there, get up to the body. She's going to haul off and kick it as hard as she can and spit on it and just be like, "That is your warning." And then go back to the table. What was the rest of the people doing in this room while this fight was...
Cowering in fear and terror.
And are the king and queen just still sitting up there on the dais chilling?
Nope, they are behind their thrones in terror as well.
What about the Dragonborn guards?
They are also hiding in terror. Because what they see that you have not seen at this time is a beautiful woman with long flowing black hair. Her body shifting to a spider and then back again. I curse you, princess. And this is where we're going to take our first break.
Bastardo.
If I earned it, you got to say it. Come on.
You bastard.
All right, we're going to take our first break, get our snickety snacks, our beverages of choice, and all that good stuff. And we'll be back.
Clear.
back. We had to get our beverages of choice and our snickety snacks, handle our business. Before we went to break, the party had come into the feast hall where a drow mage had appeared, summoning a frost giant. The mage and the frost giant were dispatched, but a beautiful woman with long flowing black hair and black eyes, her body transforming into a spider and a woman, would look at you, Rika, and declare you are cursed.
And who are you?
She will not give a name. She will just smile and fade. The lords and ladies that have been so deep in their cups will scream, scrambling for the exit, trampling one another to get out of this feast hall, away from the ill omens that have been revealed this evening. And so you will find yourselves alone with the corpse of a drow mage, a frost giant, a weeping queen, and a shooken king. This is where we would continue. What would you like to do?
Brika's going to turn around and approach the dais.
Sarek will follow as well, cleaning Arabane's patience as he goes and sheathing it.
I want to rifle through the drow mage's pockets.
Does anyone need assistance? Are you hurt? She'll look at Draft. I know that you are.
I am fine.
Draft, do you need help?
He's rifling through the pockets, so he's like half ignoring you.
She will kind of squint at him, walk over to see what he's doing, and just very casually touch his shoulder and give him just a level 1 cure wounds to give him a little something.
Okay.
That's 11 points of healing for Draft.
Roll a 1d4.
1.
1 point return to you.
For
Roll a
Kevin.
1d4 drift. No, it doesn't keep going back and forth. That would be hilarious.
That would be.
That'd be
Infinite
hilarious.
heals.
Infinite damage.
Yeah, that's why. No.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Roll an investigation check, drift.
Also, you'll notice when she's talking to you that there is, because she was in wolf form and had bitten the giant, there's like blood smeared across her face and all over her teeth.
17 on the investigation.
You will find 30 pieces of silver, a spell components pouch, and a letter written in a language that you may or may not know. Do you know Undercommon?
Let me look.
Brika curses in it all the time.
You said retroactively that we
Yes.
could gain every ASI. I think I'm gonna
Yep.
make that. He would have taught Infernal and Elvish to people, and he would have wanted to learn any other languages that anybody else speaks. So I guess he learned Sylvan and Undercommon. So yes, he speaks Undercommon.
So the letter reads as follows. Pavlov, you have your orders. Journey to the Silver Spire. Declare that we want her returned at any cost, at any price. Do not return empty-handed. The moons are almost in position. We need her. Do not fail me.
Is that followed by the dun dun dun?
He'll pull out the letter and read it very quickly and then kind of crumple it up and throw it onto the corpse.
Okay. Does he read it aloud or just to themselves?
Just himself.
Okie dokie. Brika, you're approaching the arch or the dais where the king and queen are. The queen unwilling to make eye contact with you.
So, thanks for the help. She's gonna gesture to the whole room. This may be why you guys didn't find me for however long. And she's just looking at her.
She will stand up and smooth her garment. Her expression going stone cold. Well, you seem to have comported yourself in a very impressive fashion against those enemies. Very well done. And we'll walk off the dais.
Brika's gonna turn around. That green and blue bright, like just little shoots of electricity are gonna be going up and down her arms again, and Sarek this time is going to feel it. It is like white hot rage. Yeah, it's funny how that happens when you're forced to defend yourself and you have no idea who is going to hurt you or not. Yeah, look how well I did by these scars are how I learned to do this. If this is the way you send help to find your only daughter, that's no wonder I was trapped there for 30 years.
The lights will flicker as her presence will seem to expand to fill the room. Energy crackling off the metal fixtures as she spins, her voice booming. I need a strength saving throw to see if you can stand up against the onslaught of the
And say
sheer power.
Brika doesn't willingly back down. That is, just for the audience's sake, I have a +0 to strength, so this is a straight roll. And a 16.
You manage to stay upright through just pure force of will as her voice thunders. Do not cast judgment where you do not know. I have sought you to the corners of the worlds. I have called on denizens of dark places. I have spoken with the highest celestial beings. You were hidden from all sight.
She just squints her eyes. Well, maybe you should have leaned more into prophecy because, you know, the daughter you looked for seems to have a talent there. And the daughter you looked for, your princess, doesn't exist. She died the day she was taken and left there for 30 years. Now what you have in front of you is me. I'm not your princess. I may be your daughter. But that's it. You had your chance today, right here, and you did nothing but cower.
So be it, child. She turns and walks out of the hall.
Well, this has been one. What's the expression? Hell of a party.
I've been to worse. Your Majesty, shall we go get a beer?
Yeah, maybe 2.
Brika will step down on the dais, and as she does, she's actually mumbling about even Amadon, about, some sellsword you were, and walks out, and she's gonna head like she's walking out of the room.
Sarek's just gonna go find help His Majesty up if he's not already up, and he's gonna go grab a beer off the table and sit back and drink for a second and make sure Amadon has some, and just look at him and say, this seems like a family fight I'm not sure we want to be involved in.
What were you going to say, Locke?
I'm going to follow Brika,
Okay.
keeping a respectful distance in case she needs to cool down, but so that she's not alone.
We'll turn to Nan. Nan,
Do you want me to?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that Esmina was still here. I'm so sorry, Esmina. Maybe you can answer this question a little bit better. Do you know anything about the stars?
Would she know anything
In the
about the
sky?
stars? Cheer.
She might know a little.
Perhaps a little. What is it that you need to know?
Is there any big celestial events coming up that you know of?
Oh, you want me to read the stars?
Well, not so much read, but just if you know of anything that would be coming up.
Do you mean like when there is an eclipse?
Or some other kind of celestial thing, maybe happening at night, and maybe happening in the day. I'm not a starman myself, I'm just me, but I have a feeling that we may have a time limit of how long it's going to be until they continue to try and kidnap Brika.
In a way, I assumed they would always come after Brika. They view her as property, though she is not.
Yeah, but the piece of paper that I found, the crumpled up mess of a drow, well, you see, they're trying to kidnap her for some sort of, it seems, ritual, and I just thought I would ask you.
Cheer, is there any way she would know anything about anything coming up?
Esmina would not know.
I am sorry, Draft. And she'll produce a flame in her hand. I'm a fire spirit, and not connected to the moons and the sun. She'll put the flame out.
I see. I see that you're just a spirit now. I thought you were just like a full-on druidic sort of person.
It is complicated. Normally one like myself would have bonded but maintained a separate being. When I attempted to help Nan, we were sort of stuck together.
Well, that's interesting.
She was drowning and unconscious, and I was not sure what else to do. I attempted to possess her body momentarily to get her from the water, but apparently I did it wrong. We have been one since.
Was that? Do you ever feel like you need to be separate ever again, or do you like the living arrangements that you have now?
It means I am mortal, but I'm all right with this. Though sometimes I think it bothers Nan. Though to separate us now would kill us both.
Oh, well, then let's hope you never get separated.
I'm sorry I'm unable to answer your question about stars.
That's okay. And he'll pick up the crumpled up piece of paper. I think maybe I'll keep this with me and we can find someone else that might be able to answer our questions.
Indeed.
Also, now I feel like it might be a little bit harder with Brika and the Queen at ends.
Indeed, that was disappointing to see. And yet at the same time, it was disappointing that they did nothing to help in the fight.
Yeah. But we are adventurers, so fights follow us everywhere, it would seem.
It would seem so.
Yeah.
Did
Let's
you
go
need...
get a drink.
Yes. Did you want me to come, or would you prefer Nan?
Oh, I have no preference. I prefer the company of both of you, it seems. And she would be able to feel that that's true.
Aw. You can feel the calm with Esmina, and in the background there's like this underlying like nervousness and frustration. She'll look down at the clothing and get a concerned look. Oh dear, it would seem I've stained Nan's only clean dress.
Perhaps there are some cleaning things. I think there was some in my room at least. I used to clean my clothes a little bit, but
She'll start to take the dress off. You could clean it for her.
yeah, but let's keep it on for now. Let's wait until we're back into the tower where all the rooms are closer and you have less of a walk to go to the room without clothes on.
Very well.
Perfect.
And she'll pause and you'll feel a bit of confusion. Oh, Nan says I'm supposed to put something else on first.
That might be best.
Shall we then?
Yeah, let's get a drink first. Let's go hang out with Sarek. And the king. See if we can play any fun drinking games.
Is it safe to take a drink offered by them?
Not if you... And he goes by a table and picks up like a glass that's already been like half drank out of. You're like, not if you take it from someone who's already been drinking.
People hesitate. Nan says no.
Very well. And he'll drink it himself. Put the empty glass that he's down and kind of lead Nan Esmina over to Sarek and His Majesty.
What's Brika doing?
Brika would have walked the way they came to get there back to wherever their rooms were. And during the walk, like, the electricity running up and down her arms would have slowly just stopped. And she's appeared to calm down a bit. When she gets back to the room that she had, she goes in, she'd leave the door open, because even though she didn't really acknowledge that Laz was there, she knew it was one of them. Like, she doesn't necessarily know, Laz, that they were the ones that followed her, but she just knew one of them was, so she just leaves her door open. And as she's going through the door, she's like, you can come in if you want.
Thank you. And Laz will go inside.
And she's gonna...
Are you doing all right?
She sighs. I'll be fine eventually.
Fair enough. Go ahead.
I think the hardest part's going to reconcile expectations with reality.
It's really not any of my business, but I don't remember Perrin. I have some vague notion of one of the voices remembering Perrin, but I don't truly remember them. They're sort of just a vague idea. I would, given the opportunity, very much like to learn from parents to find out more about my past and where I came from. But they are like smoke on the wind. I don't even know if they still live. But you have at least one parent alive and here. I just think it might be a waste to throw it away so quickly. I understand you're upset at them, and you have every right. And maybe it will just take time. But if I had the opportunity you have, I would not squander it. I'm sorry if this is out of line.
She's just gonna nod. Like I said, I think the hardest thing is reconciling expectation and reality.
It would seem that both you and the Queen have some, what is the word? Introspection and growing to do when it comes to your relationship.
Yeah. While he was talking, she would have gone over to, like, if the fireplace or whatever is in the room, and she's actually pulled out her teapot and she's making a pot of her fortune's tea. She's not looking to tell fortunes, it's just that's also her go-to favorite blend. So I know you don't eat or drink, but if you'd like some tea.
I mostly prefer coffee, but one of them likes tea somewhat. I would not say no.
When it's ready, she'll make 2 cups and she'll hand him a cup. I guess I was more right than I was wrong the day on the ship when I told you that we're all fuck-ups and we just gotta figure this all out. She's gonna drink her tea.
Yes.
And as you drink your tea, I need both of you to make a wisdom saving throw. It is not poison. Rika?
18.
I'm sorry?
18.
And Laz?
19.
You will both feel a strange sensation, tingling, starting at the back of your head, running down all over your body, as if your entire body was going to sleep. You will notice that within moments, you're unable to move.
As it's taking effect, could we use a Wispinator?
Sure.
Over the Wispinator to everyone, Laz says, Brika's room. Something's wrong with the tea. Paralysis.
as Mina takes off running.
Now I need. Oh, go ahead, sir, please.
I was going to say, mid-sip, he'll drop the mug. Your Majesty, there's trouble, and gone.
Same with Drift.
Okay. While you all are making your way to the rooms, I need everyone but Lazarian and Brika to earmuff.
Oh no. We rarely get a.
Familiar lavender eyes, Brika, peer from the shadows. Dark flesh and long white locks. As Madame Talonor steps from the darkness. The headmistress of the head house of the City of Bones. I've been looking for you for a while now, child. It is almost time to fulfill your destiny.
Is Brika able to talk? I know you said it's paralysis.
No, you are held. You are unable to speak, but you can hear. As she walks around the room, she begins tracing runes on the stone floor. You all have been around enough. You're adventurers. You know what a teleportation circle looks like. I'm going to bring the rest back now. I will say this for the edification of those that had the earmuff going on. There is something happening that will complete in 5 rounds. You do not want that to complete. As you all are making your way to the rooms, it will take you 2 rounds to get there. You arrive. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Even those of us in paralysis.
Yes. Rika.
4.
Greft.
7.
Laz.
12.
Nan.
20.
Eric.
11.
Y'all were there before the room. What do you want to do?
What do we see when we burst into the room?
All right. So, as you burst into the room, you see Brika and Lazarian and solid stonework being held. They're not turned to stone. They're just being held magically. You see the spinning blades of 2 drow warriors fighting Florentine style between you and Laz and Brika, and a drow female putting runes on the floor.
You said they're between us and them. Is there any way around them? Or
No,
you got to go through them.
Got to go through them, and that will bring up Nan. I will put up a generic owlbear rodeo. so that you all can see. There. It's not an elaborate map, but it gives you an idea of what you're looking at.
Alrighty then. Making sure I'm not muted. All right. In that case, I need the 2 Drow warriors to make a DC 16 Dex save.
All right. The first one will fail. The second one will also fail.
All right. They're each going to take 4d8 bludgeoning damage and be knocked prone. See, that's 15 and 24 points. No, 23, sorry. 23 points of damage, and they're both knocked prone.
Okay.
Because she has cast Tidal Wave. So she throws up her hands. This wall of water comes out of nowhere between the two of them, picking them up and slamming them into the ground, and then dissipating.
Excellent.
Sorry, I should have specified which spell I was casting to start with.
All right.
She's got no time for this shit. Brick is in danger, and she's not having it.
All right. The female will continue about their tasks. That will bring up Lazarian.
Can I do anything?
Yes, you can make a wisdom save to see if you can be free.
And just to be clear, this is not against. You said it wasn't against poison. It's not against disease either, correct?
Correct.
Okay, just making sure. That is no, that's not gonna do it. That's lower than last time. It's a 15 rather.
Okay. That will bring up Sarek.
Seeing that they are now on the ground, he is going to double move because it's 60 feet. Well, about 50 feet from him to the female caster.
Okay.
He's going to dash, double move to get next up in her grill, and draw Airbane's patience, and that will be his turn, I think, at this point.
All right. The Drow warriors will take half of their movement to stand. Number one will fire a wrist bolt at you, Sarek.
All right.
Oh shit! I rolled a 1.
Oh ho 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 ho!
Dun dun dun.
Don't you hate when you load your wrist crossbow backwards and shoot yourself?
Well, it's not worried about shooting himself. Does he hit the caster? He does.
Yay!
This is the most important saving throw of the game right now. As you run up, Sarek, drawing Arabane's patience, I'm sure that the calm has dismissed and there is a righteous anger brewing that Brika in their paralyzed state can feel.
Oh, yeah.
Drawing back, making ready. Out of your peripheral, you'll see a small dart clip this caster in between the eyes. They will have a recognition of horror as they petrify before you. Laz and Brika, you are no longer being held.
Outstanding.
Number 2 is firing a dart at you, Nan. I do not believe a 6 will hit.
No, thank goodness.
All right, Draft, you're up.
Draft is going to use his movement to step into, or is to step between Nan and drow number 2, and is going to take a stab with his knife, his dagger.
Which dagger?
Just a regular dagger.
Okay.
I rolled a natural 1 though.
Uh-oh.
Oops.
No.
The fates speaking at your natural 1. The drow warrior snapping their blades to parry, knocking the dagger from your hand, flying across the floor.
How far away is it from me?
Roll a d6.
D6. 3.
It is 15 feet away.
Okay. I went from there to there's 15. I'm gonna use the rest of my movement to go get it. Because I have mobile, even though I missed the attack on him, it doesn't occur any actions or attacks of opportunity.
Mobile restricts attacks of opportunity?
Mobile. Oh, I don't even have mobile. What am I talking about? That's a different character. Yeah, he's gonna go and get his thing, but so he gets the attack of opportunity.
19.
19 will hit.
Eight points of slashing damage from your blade.
Oof.
But you do retrieve your dagger, good sir.
Hell yeah. And that is my turn.
Rika.
Okay, she's going to use half her movement to stand up, and then at number 2 there, she's going to cast a firebolt. 23 hit.
23 hits.
Okay. That's 16 points of fire damage.
That will take out number 1. Is that your turn, Brika?
Yep, that's it.
That will bring us back up to Nan.
As Mina is irrationally angry that this drow took a swing at Draft and is going to blight him.
Okay.
So he needs a DC 16 con save to see if he
Made
takes
the
full
con.
or half.
Made the save.
All right, so he will take half damage. So I need, it's 8d8. That's 20. So half of 39, so it would really be half of 38. Sorry, my brain is really slow tonight.
19.
19, so he'll take 19 points of damage.
And that will finish him.
Awesome. She's just pissed that he hit Draft.
So here you stand in a room with a female drow petrified. Runes written on the floor.
Sarek's gonna sheath Arabian's patience. He's gonna pick up the petrified drow and just smash it.
Wait!
He's pissed. He's not seeing red because he's not that. But yeah, he's gonna break her so she can't come back.
So as you go to lift her up, you do hear Laz say, "Wait." Do you wait?
Laz, high or low?
Hi.
Roll the nat 20, so I guess he will pause and just look at you with that just an angry look on his face.
I understand your anger, but perhaps she can be more useful than that. Really, I think it should be up to Brika what we do with her. And as Laz is saying that, Laz takes their sword and slashes through a portion of the runes on the floor, marring them so that if they try to complete the spell again, they have to fix it.
Yeah, Brika, you feel just nothing but rage coming out of him. Not the usual calm. And he just looks at you, waiting.
Brika is gonna kind of like she's looking right back at you. It's like, and she's just like, I know. We're both angry for different reasons, but I think Laz is right. We need to wait a minute. Give me a second. And Brika is going to cast Sending. Target again is her mother. Your Majesty. More drow in the palace. This doesn't look good. We need your sages. And help.
You will get a reply, daughter. Anything I can give to help, I shall. The drow are here because the eclipse is soon. We must talk.
Brika's just standing there for a second, and y'all can see like she has a very like pensive look on her face. She says they're here because of the eclipse.
Aha! That would make sense.
What do you mean?
Well, there was a letter on the mage that we killed and asking them to bring you back under any circumstances because there is some event happening, and that must be the event, is the eclipse.
While they're talking, Tyr, Laz has gone over to the bed, has grabbed a sheet, is slicing it into bits, makes a wad, stuffs it over the mouth of the drow, wraps it around her head, wraps a piece of sheet around her head, ties it very tight, creating a gag, and then looks at Sarek and goes, "Perhaps we should do something about her hands."
I was already thinking that. Sarek will put her down, look at her hands, and break her fingers.
I will put both hands on, or put one hand on her shoulder while he does this, just in case she comes to.
Napping the stoned digits one by one, they come off easily in your hand, crumbling to dust.
As much as I'd like to, finish dismembering her, because she was a vile bitch, I think we need to find my mother, and we need to take her with us.
I agree, but I felt, while we were paralyzed, I felt like I could possibly have willed myself free if I had the strength. She might be able to do the same as well, and if she comes to while we are talking and figuring things out, we don't want her to be able to cast a spell.
I understand. I'm just saying, before we lob off any more body parts, let's restrain her and...
I feel like the fingers were sufficient.
Stark feels a little bit better for getting a little vindication there. But yeah, he will. Now that she's secured, he'll pick her up on his shoulder. Let's get. Where are we going? Yes. Where should we take her?
The queen didn't tell her where she was, so Brika's gonna head back to where they had the feast, or like towards the feast room, throne room area. Looking for any servants or anything along the way so they can ask somebody, where's the queen?
There is still a hubbub and a turmoil. People running to and fro. You can't get anyone to stop. But making your way back to the feast hall, you will see, as entering shortly after you do, will be Llewellyn Rose.
Okay, so...
She will
go ahead.
run to you, Brika, and hug you.
Brika's kind of stiff when she hugs her. It's not completely, but it's just kind of the... like... it's a little bit weird.
He will then look at the statue, very perplexed. How did that happen?
I was paralyzed for part of it, but funny enough, it was one of her own guards that ended up sticking her in between the eyes with a dart.
Yes, apparently they're not immune to their own poisons. As he puts the statue down.
So, we believe she'll look around for a few moments, shut the door. Where to begin in this tale? I guess it begins with not who you are, but what you are. You are special, Kleina. You are of the lunar caste. We are a rare breed, born to be rulers. Why, there hasn't been a lunar caste born in, well, I don't even know how long. Not since you have a special connection to the moons, and you have a power that you have yet to unlock that comes from those moons. Lore speaks of a perverse, invasive ritual that the drow have that could transfer that power from you to one of them. And it can only be done during the eclipse, which happens every 30 years. All 3 moons become invisible and block each other out. That's the only thing I can think would bring one such as her, as powerful as her, from the City of Bones.
Well, I knew who she was. I know her face very well. And Sarek, you'll pick up like there's like a it's that tickle of cold terror kind of it slides down her spine for a second. So that's why they wanted me. That's why they kept me.
That is our reasoning, yes. And somehow they hid you from us. Give me an insight check, Brika.
That is a 17.
It wasn't that long ago that you had a curse removed.
When I escaped, I had a brand. I had that looked like the mark of their house. That was here on my left cheek. It was like a brand, and a cleric removed it. That was how they were able to track me, but I don't know if that was how they were able to hide me from you.
The sages will gather in the morning. We will ask them of this and of your prophecy. I will double the guards outside your rooms. It will be a pair of warriors and a pair of mages to each room. Magic to fight magic, steel to fight steel.
Right then, Brika kind of looks at the rest of them and she's like, maybe we should all bunk in one room? There's plenty of space. Because it seems like every time we're in separate rooms, that's when bad shit happens. And she looks over at Dreft. Like, Uberkin hiding behind a fireplace. Oh, yeah, we forgot to tell you about that, too.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
He will look very confused.
Your Majesties, the rooms that it seems that I was bunking in seem to have a secret passage that led to well below the castle, into a chamber, and in there I encountered some of my own kin.
Yes, all of these rooms have secret passages that lead to lower depths because there are certain individuals with diverse proclivities that do not wish to be seen nor heard.
That's fair, but
I
how?
do not like the fact that Umberkin were able to infiltrate. I must speak with our mages immediately to see if our sentries, the magic we have infused into this place, is being thwarted. Have room service delivered if you are hungry. I promise you will be able to leave after eating. I grant you amnesty from the Fey chain.
Much appreciated.
And
Says
we
the
will
person who
speak in
doesn't
the
actually-
morning. Yes, that's the one that doesn't actually eat. I must go and check on the well-being of my kingdom. She will hug you once again, Brika, and place the gentlest of kiss on your cheek.
Before you leave, Your Majesty, what would you like us to do with that? Points at the statue.
Oh, yes. She'll bring her hands together, clapping. The sound of thunder erupts as the statue shatters.
Brika's
Come
gonna
see
reach
me.
over. Go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I imagine there was a moment of like, kind of like that pout feeling. And so Brika's gonna reach over and kind of pat Sarek on the arm. I know. And thank you.
You're welcome. I believe I shall check on His Majesty. I believe we have a drink or two to catch up on. And if His Majesty's still in the throne room,
He is. He's where you left him.
he will return and sit back down and just silently have a drink with His Majesty. Unless His Majesty wishes to speak about things.
Treff,
Yeah.
perhaps we should go back and have a look at those two warriors. See if they have anything interesting on them. I feel like perhaps you could utilize whatever it is they are tipping their darts with if they have more of it.
Yeah, perhaps.
Oh. And I need you to look at my teapot and my tea. I'm not sure which she put the poison in, or the paralysis, whatever.
I do not think it was poison.
Yeah, I can look at those if you want.
I will go along. I feel that keeping Dreft safe is imperative to keeping Nan safe as well.
So we head back to the room.
You lead, I follow.
So back to the room. You see there on the floor the two dead drow warriors.
I'll take one. Start rifling their pockets and gear.
Jeff will take the other.
All right, give me investigation checks. What'd you get, Drift?
4.
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, shit.
He was too busy inspecting his fingernails.
It's a 27.
As you're feeling around, your thoughts are whirling. There's so much that's happened. You almost prick your finger on a dart. You feel the slightest brush against your flesh.
Well, should definitely be a little bit more careful about that. Do the darts look like they would fit into my hand crossbow?
These are designed for a wrist crossbow. They're smaller.
Okay. Do I get a feeling that I could just throw them like a regular dart?
Yes. Yes, you could.
Okay. Well, if there's any more of them other than the one that I almost just pricked myself on, I'd like to take them.
You find a total of 4. They do 1d4 damage.
Okay.
They are coated with a special poison of petrification. It is a DC 14 con save. Or, yeah, con.
We'll do that like this then.
All right, Laz, what'd you get?
22.
You find 30 pieces of silver.
Okay.
6 more of those darts.
Uh-huh.
And a golden amulet that is a spider lower half with a man's upper half, bearing 4 arms and each arm holding a sword.
Interesting. I will pocket the amulet for looking at later. Actually, no, I'm going to turn because Ismina's here. Is this, can you tell if this is magical?
I'm. Oh, no, I do have it prepared. Sorry. She will cast Detect Magic.
And it will glow blue to your gaze alone. Abjuration, protection.
Would,
It is
go ahead, sorry.
My apologies.
Okay.
It is Abjuration Magic, a protection amulet.
Interesting.
Would Brika recognize the figure?
No.
Okay.
And so I got the 6 darts, the amulet, the silver. I assume I checked. Like, are their swords good quality? And you said he had a wrist crossbow.
Yeah, their swords are fine quality, and they do each have a wrist crossbow.
I pop the wrist crossbow off of the one I've got, and I'm like, as I hand the darts over, I offer the wrist crossbow to Dreft. Can you make use of this or these?
Yeah, I've seen there's no issue with it. I think so I should be able to use it. Would I be able to use this tier?
Oh yeah, it's just a wrist crossbow.
Oh yeah. And you said it's a con save of 14 for those
Yes.
petrification darts? Okay. And I have 10 of them now?
Yes.
I'm gonna gather all 4 of the swords in their sheaths and just like take one of the strips of the sheet and tie them together into a little bundle and just put them in the corner.
Since I have Detect Magic up, Esmina is going to take a look around where the drow female had been trying to set the runes and whatnot. She's looking for anything that glows, and she wants to take a look at the runes themselves or what's left of them.
Give me an Arcana check.
All right. So much better at this with Kalira than I am with Nan. 14?
This is a teleportation circle.
Oh dear. She'll look up at Brika. She intended to take you from here. She was preparing the circle.
That's what I thought. I also know the teleportation magic, but I haven't used it that much, but I figured as much. She was intending to take me back from what she said.
I am not sorry that she is broken.
Me either.
So can any of you use this amulet? I assume that it would require attunement. I mean, I could wear it when I'm not at the spelljamming helm, but it seems a lot of work to constantly switch things out. Perhaps one of you?
Brika holds her hand out. Can I see it? She
Sure.
said it's protection magic. She kind of looks at it and she's like, I mean, I'm the one that's almost always half dead. And she just kind of shrugs.
It is a bit gaudy, though.
Perhaps we should have the sages look at it and see if they can identify it further.
That might be a better idea. For all I know, they've put something. Who knows? And as far as it being gaudy, I can always hide it under a shirt. Attunement just requires you're wearing it, not that it's visible, right?
As far as I know.
Brika's gonna go over where where the teapot, the cups, and all that were. Miss Mina, if your spell is, if you still are able to, can you tell me if my pot or my tea or the cups, if they have magic?
Here, she will look at them. Does anything glow?
Nope.
No, there is nothing on your teapot, tea, or cups that I can see. Perhaps it was not the tea, perhaps it was magic cast by the female herself.
Could be. Just timed incredibly well.
I'd like to note, because she has not cleaned herself up in any way, there is like now dried blood smeared across her face and around her mouth from where she bit the giant.
Brika actually looks at her and does kind of like an oh face, and then she's actually going to cast Prestidigitation and kind of clean her face a little bit.
Doesn't Prestidig only work on objects?
I thought you could, well, it just says lately. Yeah, I guess it would be.
It'd clean up her clothes some. I mean, those are
Yeah.
covered in blood too.
Yeah, she'll clean your clothes a little bit. I
Well, people use it to clean their hair and shit, so
oh, okay.
it's not game breaking to let somebody have prestidigitation clean blood off of them.
That's fair.
But what we're going to do is right here, we're going to take our break. We're going to take 10 minutes to get our beverages of choice, our 60 stacks. I'm going to take some pain meds, and we'll be back. of choice and our snickety snacks took care of the things we needed to take care of. We are going to give you all the benefit of a long rest and say that the night was uneventful. I do need to know if you all slept in one room or in multiple rooms.
Uno.
Sounds like we slept in one room.
The morning will come, the sun dancing through the stained glass of the beautiful suite that you're in, the rooster crowing in the distance, the feeling of a good night's sleep washing over you. You may take a long rest on your character sheets as well.
Point of order, before we settled in for the night, Dreff would have went into his room and gotten all of his stuff so that he could have all the stuff with them while they were resting.
Yeah, I assumed that y'all would bring all your stuff in here.
Which room did we sleep in?
I would say we chose a different room than Brecky's because Brecky's, of course, had dead drow.
Umberkin in one, Drow in another.
Nan's room's been uneventful so far. She'd have offered it.
Okay.
I was gonna say same. Laz is like, I haven't even used the bed in mine.
There will be a rap up on the door.
Who is it?
Who's-
Sorry.
I have a message for you, my lady.
Rika will go and, crack the door open. Yes?
You'll see a man dressed in beautiful silks of a messenger, holding a silver tray with a cloche.
She's just gonna be like, can I help you?
He will sigh and remove the cloche, offering you the letter underneath.
I'm sorry, I'm not used to this. And then she's gonna take the message and she'll open it.
Plina, I have gathered the sages in the library. I've included a map on how to get to this most hidden and sacred place. Bring your friends. There's much to discuss. It seems that this prophecy may be more to it than what I had originally thought.
Brika will look at the messenger and kind of shrug. Is he still standing there?
No, he left.
Okay.
As soon as you took it, he left.
Okay. I was gonna have an awkward moment where she kind of looks at him and shrugs and drops a gold on his tray because she doesn't, she's like, she doesn't know how to do this royalty shit. She's gonna tell the rest of them. I've got a map here. The queen is requesting we meet her in the library. Apparently, the sages have gathered and they think there's a lot more to this prophecy than what they originally thought. Yay?
Very well.
I guess we all follow the map to the library.
Sarah could gather up her stuff. Everything, because at this point we're used to traveling.
Same with Drift. He'll pick up his stuff.
Same.
Yep.
You will find your way to the library, a concealed building that is protected by large thorny vines. You are allowed entrance, as if it knows you mean it no harm. Inside you will see Llewellyn Rose and 7 cloaked and hooded individuals poring over various tomes.
Here, how is the quality of the map that we were sent?
It was just a hand sketched. You're here, go here.
I don't know who drew this. Their work is real shit.
It got us where we needed to go, at least.
They left off half the detail. You can't tell what's what.
Yes, we go that way.
You know what I forgot to do on a break?
Mhm.
Take your pain medication.
Do you need to take a quick break to do that?
Yeah, I'm just going to close my lens cover, and you all can RP.
We'll talk amongst ourselves.
Talk amongst ourselves. So, when Tyr gets back, we all run that way.
You know he's listening, right?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Draft, this morning, you since we woke up this morning, you've been able to feel that Nan is being very awkward. Like there's definitely an awkwardness mixed in there among the usual nervousness and mixed emotions that you get since there's two of them.
And Nan would definitely get a kind of general tiredness from Dreft. Not an annoyance tiredness, just like he is exhausted. I mean, he only has to meditate for 4 hours, but he's still exhausted. He's gotten a full thing of sleep, quote in quotes, but he's starting to feel tired.
Yes, Sarek's back to his usual calm self, but you can feel the exasperation from the last night still there, where he's just tired of the sudden changes of fortune constantly.
Yeah. Yeah, Brika's gone to her, what would be her normal, which is like, it's the, her normal is always like a very, very solid resolve. And then that underlying, like, you know, deep, icy rage. That's way down deep, but it's there.
You know, Brika, I am almost sad that she did not complete the teleportation circle. I imagine that even a couple of us deep within the City of Bones, if we could have gotten free, could do some serious harm.
True. And at some point, they need to reap what they've sown. I'm kind of glad it didn't happen right now.
Yes.
Ooh.
Also, teleportation circle. I've been thinking about that. Perhaps there's a way we could install one upon the Astral Rose. A way that we could always get back to it easily.
Maybe.
I was thinking something else.
I mean, that is one of my newer abilities. I'm not exactly sure completely how it works yet.
I wonder if we could sucker Lucius into stepping into that teleportation circle and dropping him in the City of Bone.
I'm still not sure about taking the Astral Rose back to the material plane. Lucius gets hold of it. He could use it to get anywhere, cause trouble all over.
Wait a second. Did you just say you can do a teleportation circle?
Yeah, it's one of my newer spells, one of my newer abilities that I've gotten recently.
Well, then there's your solution. We don't have to take the Astral Rose anywhere now. Now we can have a teleportation circle.
But at the moment, I can only take us to the Cashmere Rose, or Keep Gregarian. I have to study. I have to study other circles for just a little bit in order to then to use them at another time.
Yes, and as much as I suspect the effect of the Astral Rose on our friend Laz, having a similar airship to get around Runath Kesha at our own beck and call would be much better for transportation.
Here, has Nan ever heard of the Cashmere Rose?
You're
You're
muted.
muted.
Give me a history check.
Sorry for the shaky cam. The kitten was trying to love all over the computer. What do I add to that? 16. 2. So 18.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sailors talk a lot about the Cashmere Rose and its special proclivities.
I kind of figured. The Cashmere Rose. That brothel in the Free Cities.
Yes.
Oh. Wait. Yes. That's something back of my mind. Why? I think one of them went there.
One of who?
The voices. Sorry, they're... Oh. I think it might have been Lazabetta. Interesting.
It's really
I
not
don't think I want
surprising.
details.
It's really
I
not
heard enough.
surprising. I've been there. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead, Ames.
I've been there. The troop I used to, the people I used to travel with went through there often, and believe it or not, drunks are the best ones to tell fortunes to. They tip very well.
Yes.
But Druff does have a point. If you can teleport us back to Runith Kesha and get us back to where the Astral Rose is, from there, then we could go back and secure any stones there and then return here without the danger of Lucius getting his hands on the ship.
True. And
But I guess my thought, though, is if the stones aren't out here and he's headed for the stones, why would he have to come out here?
Well, one of the stones is supposedly in the Nightmare Realm, yes?
Yes, but there are other ways into the Nightmare Realm, are there not, Drift?
I don't know why you would ask me about such things, but I would assume that there's other ways into the Nightmare Realm. Portals that you could make. You apparently can take a Spelljammer there. You can talk to a Roscoe, it seems like.
well, the biggest thing is that leaving the ship somewhere else other than Runith Kesha means that Lucius can't get a hold of it, and that being that the Astral Rose is a spelljammer, not just an airship, it would give him easy access to get wherever he wanted to go much quicker. So, I think that was the idea of finding somewhere outside of Runith Kesha to keep the Astral Rose, but have a way that we could get back to it quickly, I think is what they're getting at.
Yes, perhaps we can even leave it here in the Silver Spires, under the care of your mother, and then return to it after our trek to retrieve stones from Runith Kesha, if that's where we choose to go next. Now that that's an option, anyway.
True, but we still need to know what's going on. Your mother seemed to think there's more to this.
Well, perhaps we should find out what the sages want to tell us.
Don't forget to ask them about the amulet.
Thank you, I won't. She's gonna
I mean-
turn and approach him.
Having been standing there patiently, waiting for y'all to finish your internal discussion. Llewellyn Rose will smile, sort of, still maintaining that queenly poise, but a genuine smile. There's three things going on at one time that are all connected, but were never connected in prophecy. To put it to you plain, they are three individuals trying to raise three gods. It is a race to see who can get the god raised first.
Oh.
Oh. Hmm.
Wonderful.
The Drow are trying to raise Cassandra, the goddess of devouring. Lucius is trying to raise Vashka, the goddess of death and war. And the Sisterhood is trying to raise Gangriella.
Hmm. Interesting.
And somehow I play a part for the drow.
Yes.
It's the stones, isn't it?
Well, there's multiple mentions of stones. There's physical stones that are used to lock and unlock a box called the Evernight. Once brought together, they can also be brought to bring something back from the dead. And then they are the stones that are actually individuals. Those are the ones that can end this or cause it to come quicker if they so choose. But these are the ones that should be worried, because if Lucius can destroy half of them, Vashka can return to her throne.
Oh, it's what it says in my book.
I have a question though. If half of the 10 stones are destroyed, and that means Vashka can return to her throne, but doesn't she need to be released from the Evernight first before she can return to her throne? Yes?
No. It doesn't say. This is why I don't like prophets.
I feel like, and I mean, I might be wrong, I don't know, but that can return to her throne and will are two very different things. That he would need to let her out so she is free to return to her throne, and would have to kill half of the stones in order for her to be able to then return to her throne. It doesn't necessarily have to happen in that order, I suppose. You could kill us and then release her, but I mean, it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, really. Still, I think the release from the box must come before she can sit the throne.
Hmm.
That would be logical.
Yeah, if Lucius gets all 6 power stones, you can open the box. Or they can bring back Gangriella. Or
Look.
Cassandra?
That is an issue I hadn't considered.
Although that would explain the Blackguard.
We need a way to communicate with the other stones. We have no idea if the other stones have collected any of the power stones or not. We might be wasting our time going after things they've already gotten. Or they could all be dead. We really need to coordinate with them somehow.
Hmm.
Sadly, I don't know any of them are I don't know any of them well enough to do sending. I can't.
Don't know anything about them, really.
Yeah.
Don't even know where they are, really.
Then that is the issue. They could all already be dead, and then Lucius would have already fulfilled half of what he needs. And possibly taken any of the stones they possess.
Or any of these other groups. For all we know, the Drow are holding them.
Hmm.
Or the Sisterhood. For all we know, one of them is turned on them. Don't know nothing about them.
There's a lot of
Here.
unanswered questions.
Yes.
Druft is going to pull out the letter that he crumpled up from before and hand it to the queen.
Okay.
This letter was found. I don't know if this is going to help, but I found this on the mage that tried to take your life.
She will read it, arch an eyebrow. That confirms our hypothesis on what they wanted with Kleina.
What do you think of it? Do you think that with the wording and the tone of that message, do you think that they have an upper hand, or do you think that they're losing?
I think that where Drow are concerned, they always have an upper hand.
Oh, when they're talking about Drow, she's gonna pull out the amulet. Can one of the sages inspect this? We pulled it off of one of the Drow they killed, and it's a one of them was able to find out it was protection magic, but we wanted to make sure there was nothing else attached to it.
The sages take it, passing it back and forth amongst themselves. They don't know. They can do as you did and cast Identify. But there is nothing in their tomes.
And it just comes up as the protection magic, no other spells or anything else on it.
Yep.
Not that I don't begrudge you the extra bit of protection, but I don't think the Drow and their gods are too popular in the overworlds. Might be careful where you have that hidden.
Brika is gonna also pull out her robe of eyes, and she's like, I know, at one point I tried to have this altered. I don't know if the sages can help, or if you have anybody that has knowledge in dealing with magical items, and they could alter this so my wings don't have to be pinned under it. Is it possible to also alter the look of that amulet without losing the magic?
You would need a very talented smithy for that. I don't think it could be done. We can add the room for your wings.
That would be appreciated. This robe comes in handy a lot.
Considering our dilemma, I feel like the easiest solution would be if we could acquire a pair of sending stones and somehow get one of them to the other group of stones. Wow, we're entering more stones on top of stones. It's going to get very linguistically complicated here. But
wouldn't we need to know who they are to get something to them?
Possibly. We would, yes, but perhaps the sages could figure out a way to get something to them from us. Just a thought.
I could
Boy.
deliver something.
Was that Llewellyn Rose?
No, it was a voice from behind you.
Turn and look.
You'll see a man about 6'4", long black hair, finely trimmed mustache and goatee, black silken finery. His hair long and flowing down over his shoulders. I did not mean to startle, but I can deliver something to the others. I spoke with them on many occasions.
Who are you?
I am Raza Hazar.
Would that name mean anything to any of us, Tyr?
Oh, yes.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
And what is the dragons that dreamed up the nightmare realm doing here?
Coming to offer assistance.
And why would you assist us?
Because in assisting you, I assist myself.
Naturally. I turned my back on Raza Hazar to look at Llewellyn Rose. Is there a pair of sending stones that we could purchase here in the Silver Spires?
Well, I'm sure that they could be found for purchase.
Looking back and forth between them, does Llewellyn Rose seem to see Raza Hazar?
No, she does not.
Your Majesty.
Yes.
Gonna look back. Is Raza Hazar still there to her?
Yep.
She's kind of looking around like she's thinking about this. Do you know anything about someone named Raza Hazar?
The great shadow dragon that breathed the nightmare realm into the being. Everyone's heard the stories.
Would Nan have heard the stories?
Yes.
And are you friends? Are you on good terms?
I think that they are a child's story, so I have not. How could I be friends with a child's story?
That's fair. There was some talk about us needing to go to Nightmare Realm. I didn't know, maybe ruler to ruler, if you could put in a good word or something. Just curious. If you feel that Nan is very
Give me a deception check.
Nan is always so damn awkward. It's so much fun to play her.
You feel flames on the side of Dreff's face of how angry he is that Raza Hazar is here.
You said deception.
Yep.
19.
Awesome.
And just looks back to the others.
But
I'm sorry, my players. This is where we're going to have to stop. That disc just slipped.
Oh.
I'm going to have to get horizontal. So I thank you all for joining tonight and hanging out with us while we played. We hope that you had fun. Once upon a time, I tried to play through things that this major, but I can't do it anymore. It just gets to be too much.
You're good.
So let's remind people who we are, where they can find us, and let's get out of here.
Greetings, gamers. I have been Sarek the Smasher. I can be found at BRK Dragon 13,000 at dice.camp on Mastodon.
Hey everybody, I'm Ren Matley, the voices of Nan and Asmina. You can find me over on Twitter at Ren_Matley.
Hi, gamers. I'm still Locke Clark, and you can find me on the social medias at Locke Unruly. That's Locke with an H.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Patrick, the voice of Treft Vitakin, and you can find me on Twitter at Peculiar Patrick.
Hi, this is Ames. I was the voice of Rika, and you can find me on Twitter at LollyG50.
And I'm Tier the DM, the world's okayest DM, and you can find me on Twitter at Tier_the_DM. Remember, guys, that you're not alone, even in the darkness. Find someone who loves you and will let you bask in their strength, and then you become that strength for someone else. Remember that love and inclusion are the torches that lead a path to a better tomorrow. Come join us and be torchbearers. And until next time, live a life to make yourself proud. We love you guys.